Are all these injuries a coincidence, or is it the new rules? Now, we touched on this at the start of the season. Is the game becoming too fast? I think it is. And you can see that under stress, under fatigue, that some decisions aren't being made in the right light. But there was an interesting point that was made on NRL 3. Not right. That's probably not the right way to say it, in the right light, but in the right time of the game. NRL 360 last night, with Dan Ganane in the chair, saying that they've come off a shorter pre-season, and last year they didn't have the correct run up into the season that they started. So, and we saw a lot of injuries. We saw it in the same in the NFL. So, is it because the game's too fast, or is it just a coincidence, or is it just leveling out to the point where we get to the point where this is the pace that we play, and the injuries will curve down?
It's probably a combination of a few things, Pete. I think, they've only had one trial match, so this is sort of the period of a season where you probably will have more injuries. The first few weeks where your just body's getting used to getting match fit, so to speak. But I'd be interested to see what the comparison is year on year in terms of just the soft tissue injuries and the knee injuries. I don't think they're off the scale in terms of there's been a higher incidence. The issue is there's been a lot more HIAs. And over the weekend, there are a stack of HIAs. I mean, there were 3 HIAs in Cronulla's team alone. And we're being more vigilant, we're being more cautious, and that's going to continue, and rightly so. We know what the effects of concussion are now. We're becoming more aware of what the long-term effects are. And the game is being stronger in its policing of it. So maybe in last year, the year before, and the year before that, maybe players may have been returning to the field under a HIA, but now it's very much taking the cautious approach. So players are not returning, and club doctors are being more vigilant. So that's probably why the injuries from the weekend were blown out, because of a stack of HIAs, and that's probably going to continue. So that's just the way it is. I guess that's the new norm.
Yeah. So like any of these new rules and I guess increasement or increasing HIA incidents, it comes down to context, doesn't it? That, I was at a meeting last night, and we were talking about that, a couple of years ago, it was all about the spine and all about your neck injuries, but now it seems as though concussion is the new thing that we really need to be looking after. So it makes sense that the spotlight's going to be on it. Yeah,
and they're policing it more. It's being scrutinised much more thoroughly now. So obviously there's going to be more players not returning because of HIA. They're just a lot more strict with that now. So that then moves you on to the 18th man, which we've spoken about before. And there's different schools of thought on that. My thoughts. So I don't know if you want to go down that track again. But
all right. Well, look. Let's end it there, Chris. Look, thank you very much for joining us. NRL DNA round 4 this week, and we got Easter coming up. It's going to be a great weekend of footy. I hope you have a great Easter, mate. And actually, let's do another one before Easter Sunday, and let's confess our sins before Sunday, and we'll go to mass.
We'll go to reconciliation. All right, brother. We know where to find me. I'll do it again before Easter Sunday on DNA.
All right, mate. See you, mate.
Yeah.
Bye.